Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Level Up with yours truly, Mona Roberts.
Think I'm falling in love again. When I get that crazy feeling.
Mona Roberts. So, we have taken Level Up with Mona on the road today, and I am sitting here with a man. You see his shirt, it says Good Pain. He has given me some good pain. I am with my personal trainer, and I started strength training about 6 months ago. And so I want to introduce him, and he's going to tell you a little about himself. All right, Coach Allen?
All right. Thank you, Mona. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast. I'm
Yes.
just grateful to be here. And as Mona mentioned, I'm Coach Allen. My first name is Allen, last name is Elliott. Background, I started off in martial arts, and I was always disciplined with character, clarity, and confidence. Those would be the three C's for today. But on my journey, Mona, just a little bit about what happened before I became a trainer. Background's in martial arts, and then I started off with another sport called wrestling. And there, it was just interesting to know about the prioritization of your goals, meaning before you could even compete, you had to make weight. So, listening to that thought process, I thought about, okay, nutrition comes first, and then building that core confidence that just led into some of my background. The big thing I would say is when it comes to strength training, it's a passion of mine and also a skill set. So, the skill set to be able to teach that comes from my military background and some instruction there. So that's just where I've been. I started off as a personal trainer and now I'm a gym owner.
Okay, from personal trainer to gym owner.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get started because I am excited to be
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I've always worked out, but I was focusing more on cardio more than strength training. And so about 6 months ago, I joined the gym and I didn't understand the importance of strength training. And so we're going to really dig into that and see what is it like to include strength training into your exercise regimen. But before we do that, okay, so what made you passionate about helping people like myself?
Well, again, that's a great question. I believe that everyone has gifts and skill sets. And I think early on, I didn't realize the investment of my parents, teachers, and coaches. Things that came natural to me, it wasn't natural for other people. And then I realized, safety is important. So the ability to effectively communicate how to lift weights. And then once they saw that, hey, this is something that is not only fun, but I enjoy doing, I can do it over. That's what got me excited about the results. So that was kind of a little bit about how I got started. And I call it my pseudo client. My first client in the military, she was preparing for a fitness competition. And she asked me, like, how do you lift weights? So I kind of guided her, showed her some of the exercises.
Okay. And so when I come to class, I see different people at different levels,
hmm
different ages. So who is your most common client?
Correct.
Right.
Well, that's a great question. So the biggest thing, Mona, I would tell you is, even though I'm a male trainer, I do have a lot of ladies. So I don't train my ladies like I would train. I do focus on, feminine body parts, muscular development. I think toning is important, but if you say the ideal person I like to work with now are ladies, in their 40s, 50s, that may be a beginner to working out, that have that passion and they're looking to just make changes in their life.
Okay. All right. And so what Coach Allen has been able to do here at the gym, it feels like a family, right? So when I
hmm
came in, as much as I wasn't new to working out, I was new to strength training. But once I started, again, it felt like a family. Everybody kind of know each
Yeah.
other. So it's a lot of encouragement. And so you said something key, starting with mostly women ages 40
Oh yeah,
and
40,
older.
yeah, 40 to 50. They're in their journey of life. This is a new season, things that they used to be able to do, they've slowed down or they're not familiar with how to do certain exercises and then they just get frustrated in the gym. I
Okay.
want them to have a positive experience when they come in here.
Yes. And so far, it has been positive for me. It's been good pain, as
Oh
the
yeah.
shirt says. Okay, so what changes do you normally see in your clients
hmm
after about 6 months, like with me?
Yeah. So in a 6 week, we'll start there
Okay,
first. So
6 weeks.
someone that I'm taking brand new, I like to say I help my ladies lose 10 to 15 pounds in the first 6 weeks. That's the way I like to assimilate someone into my system, Mona. Again, when we first met, you were already, really strong suited in some of the pillars of success. So I would
Okay.
think about your 4 pillars would be fitness, nutrition, accountability, and you already touched on it, community.
Okay.
So taking someone through that pipeline, they lose that first 10 to 15 pounds, they feel rejuvenated. And then it's like, okay, what is my next goal? So in a 6-month period, we've had ladies document to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds. I also like to have this belief, faith-based belief that God can't steer a parked car. So ladies come to me in motion, I help them on their journey, and then I just empower them to do whatever they set out to do and make sure that they can maintain that safely.
Okay. And so let's say someone, like you said, has never worked out before, but they just had a diagnosis of I'm diabetic,
Correct.
or do you help women or
Yeah.
help people to deal with that?
Oh, absolutely. Common things that I've seen in clients that I work with, there's a chart range, Mona, which shows where you are amongst your peers. So, for example, we're talking ladies 40, 50, 50, 60. There's a range that's a healthy body fat percentage. The doctors will call it BMI, but in a body fat standard, I've helped them get back on the chart.
Right.
I've also had people come to me with procedures, meaning they have to do procedure, knee replacement, hip replacement. As we age, our joints break down, but this is the most important time you can invest in muscle development, protect your joints, and then build your confidence.
Okay. Alrighty. So give me a breakdown of one of your classes.
Okay.
Is it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or is it customized to the person?
Absolutely. So the format that I like to deliver, and again, based on my military background, I was what's called a physical training leader, Mona, and I was also a unit fitness program manager.
Okay.
So I oversaw the unit's PT programming for the unit, and then if they had specific needs, we created profiles for people who had injuries. But the standard, the standard is always this for excellence, meaning you have to pass the test. So whatever it takes to help you assimilate in that role, the method we use here at AE Fitness is what we call small group training. And that has different themes. You've been a part of those days. We have Tabata days, we have superset, and then we have circuit training. But the big theme is we're trying to get a action-packed workout in about 30 to 45 minutes.
And so how hard is it, or how difficult is it to keep people going? Because there's some days I leave here and it doesn't feel like good pain.
Yeah.
It's just pain,
Yeah.
right? And so what is it like just keeping people
Yeah.
coming back?
Mhm.
I mean, what's your encouragement? And
Yeah, I would say as a trainer, I wear a lot of hats. So there's a therapy hat, there's a
Right.
counselor hat, just
Right.
being a good steward and a friendship. So the standard I have would be, did you have a positive experience, and whatever troubles you have, leave those at the door. But the fact that you showed up is a win. So we want to maximize that win. And then the ability for someone to see progress. One thing we didn't talk about, Mona, is we do our weekly check-ins.
Yes.
So check-ins are very important because it gives you what we call a positive feedback loop. You're showing up, you're doing the work, you're doing your nutrition, your cardio. And then once you see that result, that is a great way to blend in the community. And then you did mention, as we have something going on right now, is tier testing. So these are kind of quarterly evaluations of your progress. It may not always be weight loss, but strength, meaning when you first came in, you could do X and now you're able to do Y. So these are just fun things we like to share to keep people on their fitness journey.
Yes, yes. And so, yes, at the beginning when I started, the first thing is the weigh-in, correct? And then we talked about nutrition.
Correct.
And one of the things I liked about my time with you when we first started is we talked about some of the foods that I like and some of the foods that I didn't like so much
Yes.
that I was willing to give up.
Mhm.
And so you kept me very relatable,
Absolutely.
realistic with some of the foods. So talk about what you do for the nutrition piece.
Sure thing. So Mona brought up a very good point. In our programming that we do here at AE Fitness, we have what we call 3 pillars of a triangle. So we call that the fat furnace triangle. Nutrition is first, followed by strength training and then cardio.
Okay.
So it's very rare, Mona, that I would find someone that knows how to do all 3 successfully. You were a cardio queen, right?
Right.
You conquer Stone Mountain. Nutrition would help you get fuel for that workout, but the strength training and the recovery was the missing link for you.
Right.
So putting all 3 of those together in the nutrition piece, the big thing I'm hearing with my ladies is we need to get inflammation off the body. We have hormonal things going on, issues. So nutritionally, if we can set a relationship standard that the food you're going to eat or that you want to have is going to help reduce inflammation in your body, help you feel better, I think that improves your relationship. So we don't want you to be in a position where you're not interested in the food, but the food is empowering to you.
Yes, yes. And tell them about the method you used. It was the blood test or
Oh,
the blood?
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
So
that's what-
studies have shown now that, you could be eating healthy, but if you're not eating according to your blood type, you could be possibly exposing yourself to inflammation. And for what I've struggled with over a year's time is, some of my ladies will say, I'm eating healthy, Alan, but I just feel bloated. Like, I don't enjoy what I'm doing. And when we peel back those layers, we see that there are different blood types. And what's associated with those blood types, Mona, are categories of food, meaning there's categories of highly beneficial, foods that are good for you, foods that are neutral. You can kind of go either way, and then foods you would need to avoid. So we are often finding that ladies that thought they were eating healthy, a lot of their food may have been in the red category based on their blood type.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing I discovered during this process is the importance of protein.
Oh, yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, protein is the superpower. If if I could give the biggest tip is just drink water. Your body's 80% water. Your muscles are water based, and then protein is the fuel and the building blocks for that. It controls so much your metabolism. It helps support your ability to burn fat, and then also your blood sugar levels. You'll see some people they may fast, and then when they break their fast, they get a rush, and that's because their body's metabolism is unregulated.
Okay, good, good. And so one thing I can say is I'm an entrepreneur. I'm in my 60s and
Mm,
still working, but what I was interested in is not just weight loss,
mhm,
but my quality of life
mm.
because I have grandkids, I love to travel, and so I always wanted energy. And so one of the benefits that I've have taken from the strength training along with the cardio and the nutrition is the quality of my life is better.
That's impressive. Okay,
Yes, yes.
awesome.
I can run up some
Oh
stairs
yes.
and, I can just do some things and play with my grandkids. And
Hmm.
so I want everyone to realize that the importance of the quality of life is what it really did for me. And so before we close, I want you to give us 3 tips that any beginner
Yes.
can take away to get their health journey started.
Oh, that's great, Mona.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to kind of touch on some things you mentioned.
Okay.
Being in the entrepreneurial mindset and space, I use this term batteries included. So you want to think of your body as a vehicle. You don't want to run your body down. So the fact that you came to me shows prioritization and awareness of self-care.
Yeah.
And then your ability to invest in yourself is just going to make you a better person because you realize your body is your business. So with this vehicle of fitness, you can take this anywhere you want to go, but the byproducts of that, what you're going to experience is clarity, character building, and then confidence. All those things are critical as a business owner, and strength training is paramount. To answer your question specifically, 3 tips I would give to anyone new to their fitness journey. I would say, first of all, you need to find an accountability. So accountability can be one-to-one, or as you've experienced here, one-to-many. The community is critical on the days that you don't want to come or don't want to train because you have discipline. So discipline is just remembering what you want. And that will build momentum. Momentum is the secret superpower. You remember consistency is what we talked about.
Yes.
So that would be number one. And then number two, Mona touched on already, is protein. Protein is king. Out of any meal, you should prioritize protein first. If you're at a restaurant, if you're in the gas station, if you're at home for a snack, just go for that protein first and foremost. And then lastly, it would be water.
Oh.
Our bodies are, like I mentioned again, 80% water. Water is life. There's so many critical factors that can be solved just by drinking more water. So a good rule of thumb with that is, they say the phrase 64 ounces of water a day. But if you want to attain an optimal standard, it would be your body weight divided by 2 in ounces.
Wow, water.
Water is life.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's been a tough one for
Oh
me.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's hard in the wintertime, but as far as attention, where your focus goes, that's where attention grows. So people that I've seen start their water journey, they just see boost of confidence, like we mentioned, clarity, and then the ability to just say, okay, I'm going to commit to it.
Wow, so does water really make that much of a difference?
Oh, it's everything. It's in your muscles. It's in your brain. It helps circulatory health. The best analogy I give you too, a lot of car analogies, but it's like a daily oil change for your system. If your body's recycling, the same toxins, and it's like a fountain is jammed up. So when you pour new water in, your body's saying, "Thank you, I needed this. I can release the old stuff."
Wow. Okay, and so another area that I didn't do much and now I'm doing more of is stretching.
Okay.
Can you talk about stretching and the importance of it?
Yeah, there's a lot of philosophies, Mona, but what I would tell you in good faith, what we like to do here is we do dynamic warm-ups. So think about your muscles like a rubber band. If you've ever put a rubber band in the freezer as a little kid, it's frozen. If you pull it, it's going to pop. So what we need to do first is heat up the muscle first dynamically. So those are dynamic muscle movements. That's critical. And then on the back end, if you need some cool down stretching, you can do that. But a big thing I would give people is recovery, meaning it's not about how much you can do, it's how quickly you can recover. So I think you found stretching to be a part of your recovery routine.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so now what would you say to someone who feels like they've waited too long to
Mhm.
start their workout journey?
Yeah. Well, a good fun phrase I like to say with that, Mona, is The best time to start is 10 years ago.
Yes.
And then the second best time to start is today. So it's never too late to start your fitness journey. Your body is always looking for improvement. We have this system called homeostasis, where if your body's used to doing a certain thing, it needs to be kind of shaken up a little bit. So when you came to me, you were used to your Stone Mountain routine, but then when you incorporate strength training, your body's like, wow, this is different.
Mm.
And then that phrase, adapt and overcome, you can adapt and overcome at any age because we want to not be sedentary. So strength training done in a safe way has multiple benefits of preserving your joints, improving mobility, and just giving you independence. You know, your family, you don't want them to rely on you as much, meaning you want to be independent to move and do what you want to do in your later years.
Right, right. Okay. Well, I thank you so much for your
It's
time.
a pleasure.
And so let me ask, is there any closing remarks
Yeah.
you want to give to my audience?
Yeah, I would just say thank you again for this opportunity. And, you know, we look forward to seeing you at AE Fitness, and you're more than welcome to come and check us out.
Very good. And we can find you in
I'm
Loganville.
in Loganville,
Give me your address, please.
Loganville, Georgia, 220 Athens Highway, Suite 300. And my website is alanelliott.com.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'm falling in love